Hello, my name is Ashley Bullock and I'm the Economic Development Director here in Caldwell County. You're about to watch an episode of Caldwell Made. In this video series, we will highlight the diverse industry in Caldwell County. We hope that the citizens here in Caldwell County have a strong sense of pride in the wonderful manufacturing history that we have, as well as all the wonderful technology that's being used in today's manufacturing. We'd also like to inspire the next generation of workforce to consider manufacturing and industry as a career. In Caldwell County, 27% of our workforce work to support manufacturing, while the state average is only 11%. In this series, we will work with a wide variety of industries in Caldwell County. Many of those names you'll know: Bernhardt, Automated Solutions, JBS, Macquarie Modern, Blue Ridge Energy, just to name a few. Please check out our website as well as Caldwell County's website to see all of our episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Headquartered in Lenoir, North Carolina, Bernhardt is a luxury heritage brand that has been long associated with iconic furniture design. Founded in 1889 by John Mathis Bernhardt, the company's history began over 134 years ago. Today, Bernhardt continues that legacy with a passion for inspired design. Led by the family's fourth generation, Bernhardt is now the largest family-owned high-end furniture company in the United States and is a leading global furniture manufacturer. Characterized by the use of uniquely beautiful materials and an elevated design aesthetic, Bernhardt furnishings are instantly recognizable. Our products can be found in beautiful homes, hotels, offices, universities, and other fine properties worldwide. We have a vast array of career opportunities available to all those interested in becoming part of an organization known and respected throughout the world. When you work with us, you become part of our family.
My name is Beth Miller. I was born and raised here. I went to Hi-Lilting High School, graduated there, and then I moved off for a couple years with my husband, who took a job in Gastonia. And so I was offered a position about 4 years ago. It's a solid company, and the interview went really well, and it was such a family atmosphere. So yeah, that definitely brought me to Bernhardt.
What interested me was the company I was working for in Morganton was moving to Asheville, and I needed something close to home. I didn't want to commute, so I heard about this new division that had just started, and it was Bernhardt Design Textiles. They had one person running that division, and she needed some help. So I interviewed with her, and she had so much energy. She was on fire. She loved textiles so much, and I just joined in, and that's where I got started.
So I've been here about 6 years. I've been in the industry a while, probably some others maybe not as long, but what happens as you're in the industry, you kind of, if you're not careful, bounce around a little bit, and what happens is you learn what you're looking for over time.
What intrigued me about Bernhardt is that it's family owned and that it's one of the largest family owned companies in Lenoir.
First time I came, I went to Appalachian for product design, and a guy who I graduated with had gotten a job here, and he said, "Come down, we're looking for some help." So I interviewed on a Friday and started on a Monday as a plant product engineer here at Plant 3. And did that for a couple of years and had the opportunity when he actually left the company to move into his position in design, actually working with Chrissy. But I came because honestly in school, the design division had done a chair with Ross Lovegrove. That was an iconic piece that everybody knew, and I drove back and forth on 321 so many times never knowing that this was here. And it was close to home. My family's from Hickory, and it was just a great fit.
Bernhardt is a household name. I I'm from Hickory, so I grew up with the name, and it's a staple company. Like they said earlier, it's been around for 134 years. I think the brand speaks for itself, and that was what intrigued me about coming to work here. I felt that there would be such a sense of pride by taking a job here.
So, Skylar Westfall, lived in Caldwell County my whole life. I've been working at Bernhardt for about 9 years, and actually what got me here was family. There's been a lot of talk about a family business, and I had family here that you know, kind of encouraged me to come get a job here. Started as a temp 9 years ago, and now I'm operations manager, or textile operations manager. So, little growth. I think that's the atmosphere of family is kind of what encouraged me to stay, if anything.
As the director of product development, I work directly with Alex, the CEO of the company, who does all of our creative work. And the best thing about my role is there are not many positions where you basically get to use your imagination to come up with a brand new piece of furniture every day, every other day, and then see that be made, sampled, produced, and then in the showroom full circle. It's really cool.
For me, I have, I have the opportunity to work with a really good team. The plant managers and other folks that work on my team are top notch, and they really, truly do work together. So we're a little spread out. We've got a few buildings here in Lenoir, and we've got one in Shelby. We get together every morning at 8 o'clock, and we just talk about what we can do to support each other. We started that during the pandemic when materials were scarce and labor was even harder to come by, and you weren't really sure what was going to be in the schedule and what we could do. So we started that process at that point just so we could learn how to support each other, and then we do it every day since. But they're really fantastic. They are the best, I feel, in the industry, and we're just really fortunate to have them.
I'd also like to say culture is a big part for me. But what I love about my job at this late stage in my life is having worked in different areas. I worked a lot in sales. I was a communication manager, which is still sales. But now as a product development admin person, I work with really cool young people who can design really awesome product. And my role is a helper. I'm like super helper. And I get to, you know, there's no ego. It's like, and there's no respect of person. Each one, I want to help them to be as awesome as they can be. And, you know, if there's a bad day, I love that we have teams. I can say, shake it off, keep going. You know, just little things that you can start adding to folks who are younger than you that work with you. But yeah, it's always people.
Mine's also the growth that they've given me, because, I mean, I started off as a temp and working at a warehouse, literally doing inventory in a warehouse, and then moving up to quite a few positions and now being a manager. So they hire from within. They don't just drop you and stop from your growing. They let you grow and become not just a job but a career. So it's nice that Bernhardt does that.
Yeah, so you think furniture, I immediately think manufacturing, but there's so many different things and jobs, positions, careers that you can do within a furniture manufacturer. We have people that are in transportation, IT, product development. There's the whole gamut of different options.
We need folks who will learn these skills. I mean, I grew up, they were like the heroes that knew how. I would hear people say, oh, that guy, he can make anything. Oh, he can do any kind of a finish. And it's just skills that are out there to be picked up. And young people could grab that and really make a great career for themselves.
Just like soft skills, like when I'm looking to hire an employee, that's the biggest thing I'm looking for. Yeah. Can you communicate with people? Mm-hmm. Can you talk to others? Are you friendly? You know, do you know how to get something done? That's a big thing they don't teach a lot anymore.
I'm glad you said that, Justin, because I was thinking the things that have helped me the most, I'm pretty sure I learned in kindergarten. Use your words. Communicate, communicate, communicate. When I learn something, I think, who else needs to know this?
I took a non-traditional path after high school. I was in the Air Force and then ended up getting my bachelor's degree after my service. But I think the military and college to some degree taught me both work ethic and being able to communicate and talk to a diverse group of people. Technology has really changed over the past 10 years in terms of shipping and tracking. I think you've seen that with the Amazon effect. Everybody wants to know when their product is going to arrive, and they want it in 2 days. So in my position within transportation, now we're able to, for the most part, see when a package leaves, a piece of furniture leaves our warehouse, and then when it's going to be delivered. I think we're still evolving in that area. We see so many new truckers come online, and our truckers that have been in the industry for a very long time that don't have that capability, but we're all pushing to get there. So that's been a huge step forward, in my opinion.
Not only is it just doing things on CAD versus paper, it's 3D is really the thing that we tend to use to save us time to make things, or try to make things once more than 10 times, so we can see it 3D, we can move it around in space, we can do things like 3D print, not only for scale and shape, but also we can 3D print parts that we would normally either have to cast in the past or find a 5-axis router to make, but you can actually find, but design in 3D, SolidWorks, then print, so you have a part you can actually use in a product.
We have lecture machines, they're IXMs, they cut the fabric. And so for years past, you would have people who individually laid out patterns and drew them out with a marker or chalk, and they had to hand cut the fabric out. And now we have machines that pretty much kind of what these guys do is that CAD work, and it takes that piece, it remembers it, it puts it on the fabric in the best way it can, and it cuts it by itself. And that's kind of shifted really the need for the type of personnel we also need. So now people, most of my operators are under 25. They don't have 40 years experience laying out the fabric, but they've got work ethic and they've got technology skills. And so they're able to take that, apply that motivation to our industry, and it's really, I think, shifted our needs as a whole, I guess. But they're still able to encourage young folks like that to come in and be a part of the production process. But it's also increased our capabilities just all the same. And so I think it's shifted a lot for everybody. And I think kind of what Beth is speaking to, it's going to continue to shift.
Yeah,
no doubt.
absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to add that since I've been here, I'm going on 5 years now. It's been really comforting and exciting for me to see how much leadership in the family are investing in technology, because sometimes that's, especially in furniture manufacturing, I think sometimes that falls short. But they are completely invested, and our 5 to 10 year roadmap just looks, crazy cool. So, and also cybersecurity. I mean, they've really put a lot of effort and money behind the cybersecurity program. So it's good. It's good to see. Can't wait to see what the future holds.
I can actually speak to that a little bit. I'm waiting on the arrival of a brand new cutting machine. Should be here at the end of the year. But I think that it's a little different than the ones we got. So we can. I think even Plant 6 has one of the Virgas that allows you to cut patterns and things that may require a little more attention to detail and things like that. It's a little more geared to those things, but the ability to see that the family is willing to promote the need for technology and what that does for us as a whole is, I think it piggybacks what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Technology also changed not just how we work, but where we work. I know that some of the positions are hybrid, where people work some at home, work some at the office, just different things that might be interesting to young people to know that Bernhardt is also taking part in that. So if you're interested, get in there, get to know, get an interview, see what skill sets you have, that they may have something open for you. But don't just sit there thinking about it. Get in there and take the next step.
Who doesn't want to work for Bernhardt? Our product is beautiful. It's amazing. Again, that sense of pride, you're going to walk away with a huge sense of pride in our line.
We're a tight team. See a lot of long-term employees here that have spent a lot of years eating lunch next to each other for decades. It's just the atmosphere of culture.
Yeah.
I think of work family as looking out for each other. There's those times when you did something, you need something, you got to have something, you should have done something, and there's folks I know from Plant 4, Plant 3, Plant 7, IT, you know, I can call IT and they will meet me where I'm at. You know, if I go, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and my computer stopped, they'll meet you with that same energy and come help me. I don't want to leave anyone out. Sourcing, credit, marketing, all the departments. There's people I've made relationships with that if I need them, they will help me. They will come to my aid, and they know that if they need me, if there's anything I can do, they can come to Chrissy, and Chrissy will say, what's up? What do we need to do? And to me, that's work family. People you can depend on, count on, expect stuff from.
Yeah.
The young lady I met my first day that showed me around back in 1991, we became best friends. I'm her daughter's godmother. We've shared beach trips and all kinds of things, and we've literally grown old together. So yeah, she is definitely family for me.
There's not one day that is the same.
No.
Every day is different and challenging. That's what keeps me excited and engaged every single day. It keeps things fun. I love a challenge. I love a puzzle, and we're always adapting and moving forward. And I think that's what keeps it so engaging and exciting. Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
We're always pushing the envelope from a product development standpoint. I mean, we're always asking what the factories can do for us, how we can build this better, how we can make more beautiful product. And I don't know, it's a blast.
Yeah.
It really is.
Our president mentioned during our sales meeting back in High Point, he was like, every day, let's just try to be 1% better. And I think that speaks to Bernhardt.
Yeah.
Everybody's just trying to be 1% better every single day.
Say in the manufacturing side, it's taking all these different inputs and making them come together. So it's parts that are made domestically, parts that are made across the world, labor that have a lot of different skills, and a lot of our plants every day looks different. We don't run 1,000 of the same thing. So all these little inputs have to come together. It's almost like an orchestra of different instruments that make music, and it really is all these parts. It has to line up, and if not, it just doesn't work right. But with a lot of good people and good systems, it does work.
I think I would echo that a little bit. For me, I really never know who I'm going to speak to in the day. The other day, I got a phone call from some fabric supplier in Italy, and trying to work through their accent, understand what they were saying, and you could tell it just felt like they were trying to build a relationship. It was one of the first time I spoke to them, but they're halfway across the globe and calling me Lenore, and you really never know who you're going to meet or what kind of potential relationship you could build, and that was just super cool, for sure.
In my role, I communicate with customers all over the world, and sales reps. So I've had close relationships with sales reps in like Saudi and Jordan, and that's very new to me, and I have enjoyed that.
I said it earlier, but we get to go from a pencil sketch to a CAD drawing to a 3D print to a manufactured piece of furniture, sometimes all in 5 days if we're really pushing it. And that changes every day. It's not we're working on a table one day and a chair the next and a sofa the next day, and I mean it's wild. There's not a lot of places where you get the opportunity to work on such a large breadth of product. I mean it's a blast. It really is.
It's been said, but I will still add the communicating with folks all over the world, just making good buddies, just in different parts of the world, and seeing that diversity of friendship. Because sometimes we'll talk, we're talking with a million people on an email, and then we may sidebar each other and get to know each other in that way. So I do enjoy that.
Yeah, communicating with our employees overseas. We have a presence overseas, and I've never met these people, but they care. Again, all Bernhardt employees just show up and they care. And there's this lady that works in our Vietnam office, Daisy, and she's a delight. Like I think I just want to be best friends with her. Again, never met her, but she'll chat me and just be like I'm so sorry to bother you, usually is what she says, but I'm like, no, I'm happy to help. And then she'd be like, okay, you need to go to bed, because usually she's communicating with me when it's, you know, her morning and it's my night, and vice versa. I can reach out to her when I'm in the office first thing in the morning and it's her nighttime. And again, we just genuinely care. We don't want to bother them after hours, but she always shows up.
I'm one of the few people that crossed companies. So I worked for the design division first. Now I work for the residential side, and I've already had to go to some folks on the design side and say, look, I can't figure this out for residential. What would we have done in the design world? Or do you have a vendor that could help me with this? And everybody's, I mean, bent over backwards, basically, bent over backwards to help me as much as they can. And it's just been a lot of fun.
I would say that Bernhardt has pushed me out of my comfort zone.
100%.
Yeah, that they knew things that I could do better than I knew that I could do them.
And I think, again, that speaks to the culture. I think we all have that foundation of just a family-like culture, and that's the one thing that we all have in common.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Big smile. Say McGillicuddy. McGillicuddy.